How's it going, everybody? A lot of you guys wanted to see this video, so I'm going to finally do it. I'm going to show you guys how to put food inside Mylar in 5-gallon buckets for long-term food storage. Right now we're doing rice, and we're also going to do hard red wheat and some purified sea salt. So I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. You can see we already started doing 7 buckets. We got them prepped, ready to put in oxygen absorbers. So I'll talk to you guys in a bit. This is what the Mylar looks like. It's a 20 by 30 inch. It's made for 5-gallon buckets. And when you get these, they'll look a lot larger than they're supposed to be, but they're actually just the right size for the buckets. These are the buckets we chose. They're all from Home Depot. These are not food grade. We don't believe we need them because we have the Mylar. In this instance, the Mylar acts as the oxygen barrier. We also choose buckets because they protect the bags from getting ripped open or getting kicked open, and they also stack easier for storage. Before you get started, you need to sterilize. You need to go wash your hands up to your elbows and definitely be ready to do a lot of work. You need a lot of space, and you need to have all your stuff pre-positioned beforehand. Just so you guys know, it's way easier to do this with a buddy, so definitely invite someone over to help you. When you get started, put the Mylar over the bucket, and what we've found is easier is if you fold the ends over, so one goes over the top and one goes under. And what that does is it gets rid of a lot of the airspace in the bucket when you fill it up with stuff. I have my buddy here to help me. What we're going to do is put it into the bucket like I showed you. So first thing I'm going to do is fold this over. He's going to fold his side under. And then we're going to push it into the bucket. And then we're going to stick our hands down in the bag and spread it out. This is what it looks like spread out. You notice we got the bottom conformed as much as we could to the bottom of the bucket. Now we're going to start pouring. So now you have to get ready to pour in your stuff. Have one of you guys start pouring and the other one holds open the bag so none of the stuff gets spilled on the outside or inside of the bucket where you don't want it. So here we go. We're doing some rice right now. You want to go about a third of the way up and then pause. A little bit more. There we go. So we'll slow it down and we'll show you the next steps. After you get about a third of the bucket filled up, what you want to do is compact it down. And the way you do that is not pressing on the rice with your hands, but physically taking the corner of the bags, pulling them up and dropping it. You do that about 5 times, and then what you're going to do is switch to pulling on the bucket itself. Then you spread it open again, and you start pouring some more. As you can see, it kind of compacted down a little more, and that also formed to the bottom of the bucket a little better. And that gets rid of a lot of the air pockets with the bag, so you can put more stuff in the bucket. So now we're going to pour in some more rice. This time we want to go just about to the top. And pour a little bit more in because we didn't get quite all of it. Okay, we'll start slowing down about 9/10 of the way. I'm going to pull back on it. That should be enough for this bucket. Now we're going to compact it down again. Open it up. And that's what a full bucket looks like. It's real important you don't fill these all the way to the top. What I like to do is leave at least 2 inches of headspace because we still have to seal the bags and put in oxygen absorbers. And when we do that, we need a little bit of space for that bag to fold down so we can put the lid on tight. Now that we got most of our buckets filled, what we're going to do is start getting ready to seal them up. We're not going to add oxygen absorbers yet, but what we're going to do is kind of prep them, like this one right here, as just an example. We've closed off all but about a 2 or 3 inch section on the end, and that's where we're going to slide in the oxygen absorbers. So we're going to take our heating device. This time it's going to be this iron right here. And we're going to use it to close up these corners, and we'll show you guys how to do it. So this is what I like to do. I usually grab the 2 ends at the top and I pull them close together. And then I start rolling it in on itself, halfway like you would. And then I start pushing down as much air as I can out of the bag. Then I take a flat edge, preferably a ruler. The metal ones work the best, but this wood one will work just fine. And I tuck it underneath the front part here. And I pull it tight to the bottom. I'm going to push it down again. And now we got an area where we're going to start to do our line. And I usually do it right here at the top. So my buddy here is going to start sealing. And this is what it looks like. So he's going to close up this front edge. You just hold it on there and it'll start to melt. You don't need your iron super hot, but you need it hot enough to start melting. So we're going to go and leave about 3 inches at the end of this bag. Then we'll show you what to do from there. I know a lot of you are going to ask why we leave so much Mylar on the top here and don't cut it off to use for later. And the reason is we leave that much air in the bag. That way we can reseal it if we have to. For some reason we need to get into one, but we're not going to finish the bucket. That way we can store it long term still and not just ruin the whole entire bucket. We just got done prepping all the Mylar. You can see they're closed all the way except for this little end piece. And that's where we're going to put in the oxygen absorbers. And there's a reason why we put in oxygen absorbers. Not only does it absorb the oxygen, but it takes a lot of the air out so bacteria can't live inside of it. These are the oxygen absorbers we have. 2 different types. You can see these ones here on the left are a little bigger than these ones here on the right. So we're probably going to use more of the ones on the right per bucket. The big ones we usually use 1 per 20 pounds. So now we're going to show you guys how to do this. Make sure they go to the center, and I'm going to compact it down again. Remember guys, when you do this, time is of the essence. You don't want that oxygen absorber to start reacting too fast. You want that to be doing that in the bag and taking out the oxygen there. So anyway, here's the last one. What we're going to do is stuff this down. It doesn't have to be pretty. Get as much air out of it as we can. And we want to make sure we have a wide seal at the end. Usually 2 inches or so. Here in a couple days, all these bags will start to suck down. They'll look nice and tight with all the stuff pulled in because the oxygen will be taken out. Now we take this end, stuff it down. Now we're ready for our lids and to mark stuff down. All the hard stuff is done, but now one of the most important parts has to happen. We have to seal the lids, and then we also have to mark them with labels telling us what they are and the date. So that's what I'm going to do for you guys. Getting a good seal around the edge here. Looks good. It's going to be at a weird angle for you guys, but that'll be alright. I'm going to put in EN for enriched. I'm going to put white. I'm going to put rice. And the date. Well, there you go guys. Everything you need to store long-term food storage inside Mylar and buckets. So rate, comment, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.